Welcome to part two. I hope you're enjoying this. Carry on, Terry. You're on about Dan Aziz.
Yeah, so I was saying, like, I'd like to see him just master that thing that Beterbiev does of just pecking away at you. What he does with doing that, Russ, is he takes away your thinking time and he just keeps you confused. And I think that's a real skill. Like, I think Triple G does that really well as well. God, just for all the haters in the comments, here's me praising white fighters. Who would have thought it?
Oh,
But
Terry, you don't like white people, do you? You only like blacks, apparently, don't you?
yeah, and technically you're porky anyway, so I don't think you count as white anymore.
Pink
Well, you're
cat.
definitely pink today.
You get that a lot, Terry. Spencer Fearon gets that a lot, doesn't he?
See, I do, but I don't take it seriously because these people don't know my life. So they can have whatever opinions they have. And, they can go back to, I don't know, delivering Amazon parcels and stuff. I'm sure it just keeps them busy, doesn't it?
Good Amazon. Hey, that's a good job, that now, I've been told. That'll be me when I'm 65, Terry.
Mate, the number of kids just delivering stuff they shouldn't be delivering in Amazon vans. Like, they just doubled up.
I know, yeah. Oh,
And
no, why not be doing that? Well,
Uber drivers, all of that.
hey, we need to buy a grey Merc Sprinter van and put Amazon on the side if you want to ship it here. You won't get a pull then, will you? Okay then. I want to talk about Dennis McCann and Archie Sharp. People say, "Oh, you never mentioned them." I do. It's just that I want to see them in a British title fight. They don't seem to be going for that. It looks like they're going to skip that. Do you think?
So both guys are guys I'm interested in because obviously trained by my friend Eddie Lamb.
Yeah.
And I talked to Ed a lot about Archie. So the thing with Archie was he used to train elsewhere before he went to iBox. And he's still getting used to how those guys work. So at his previous gym, he was kind of left to just get on with stuff. That's why he had that really unorthodox style. They didn't really coach him. They just kind of trained him and got him in shape and got him on weight for a fight. So at iBox, they're actually trying to put some structure into what he does. And Russ, it's even small things like making sure that before the weigh-in, he's never on his own. Like he's not distracted or he's not. It's small things showing you care. And I think Archie's had to get used to that. But he's performing well in the gym. Ed speaks highly of him. He gets to work with guys like Sam Noakes. I mean, so there's a high standard in that gym at the moment. But I think he was pushing for that Shakur Stevenson fight, wasn't he? But Shakur looks like he's moved up to lightweight. So Archie might be trying to find a vacant belt or an opportunity there with like an Oscar Valdez. I think that's where they want to position him. Dennis, I think they're going to have to start moving him on quickly, but he's a kid though. He's still 21. And I like watching him, but part of me thinks we might be having another Frankie Gavin here.
He's 28, that Archie.
Yeah, Archie is, but Dennis is 21.
22, Dennis, coming up.
Is he 22? Okay.
They're his best small men, aren't they? Archie Sharp and Dennis McCann. I just think that there's a lot of hype around them, and nobody's saying that they can't fight because they're supposed to be real deal, aren't they? A pair of them. But I want to know when they're going to fight for a British title. That's what I want to know. They've had plenty of fights now. Where's the British, and what are they doing about it?
Who's got the British now at 130?
I don't know. But I'd like to see one of them fight.
I'd like to see Archie versus like a Zalfa Barrett.
Yeah.
But if the world title's not there, put him in with someone like Zalfa Barrett. It's a big enough fight.
That's another thing. It's a Cold War fight, isn't it? Because we've got Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. They're not on best of terms, are they?
And then for Dennis McCann, what's he? Is he featherweight or super bantam? I don't know where he's going to specialize, but
featherweight, I think.
Yeah, isn't that like Hopi Price's weight? Those sorts of guys. He can get stuck in there as well, but it's getting across the promoter divide.
I think that's the problem, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, but I'd like to see Dennis get physically stronger first. I think there's still a bit of a deficit in terms of his just raw physical strength. And there's a risk that he'll get bullied by bigger and stronger guys when he moves up a few levels.
Maybe they're protecting him, and he's only a bit of a kid, really, in his still. But the Archie Sharp, He's coming up 28. He's got to be British, going for a British at least challenging, and he surely, or a Commonwealth. Come on.
Isn't he like WBO number 3 or something? So he's just waiting for the, you know what Frank Warren guys do? They just wait.
We're on about Archie Sharp, yeah?
Yeah.
Archie Sharp, box, right. Here we are, 22-0. 28 next birthday, 5'9", and he fights at, I don't say.
Super feather.
Super feather, yeah, super feather at the top. His last fight, he fought a guy 14-4. Before that, oh, he's got decent wins, but he ain't got a belt. He ain't got a belt, has he? Yeah. Where's his belt? Has he got a belt in it, or is it one of the Trinket ones?
He might have one of the Trinket ones, but
yeah.
Like I said, he's ranked with the WBO, so he's just parked up waiting.
WBO Global Super Featherweight Champion. That's what he is, Archie Sharp, the WBO Global. Now, the other kid, he's ranked 63 in world and 3rd in Britain, Archie. Joe Cordina and Zelfa are above Archie, and then below him is Alex Del Magani. He's training at Joe Gallagher's gym, isn't he, Alex, now?
Yeah.
Youssef Kamara is 5th, Reese Bellotti is 6th, Dante Dick and all them.
I think the Yusuf Kamari fight would be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Yusuf's one of the more entertaining boxers. It's a shame that no broadcasters got behind him, because he definitely comes to fight.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? It'd be interesting. He comes to fight, but he's only got 5 stoppages, that Yusuf, out of 15 fights. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at Archie. The other kid, this Dennis.
Dennis.
He's featherweight, Dennis, isn't he? Have a look. Oh, I don't know if he is. Oh yeah, he's number 12 on box, right? I mean, Dennis McCann. If the people above him are Isaac Lowe, Jordan Gill, Thomas Patrick Ward. That's a good fight. Thomas Patrick Ward and Dennis McCann. Nick Bald, James Dickens, Isaac Dogbo, Josh Warrington, Lee Wood. So yeah, he's a long way off Josh Warrington, Lee Wood, because he's going to need his
man. A long way off Isaac Dogbo.
He's not seasoned enough. Yeah, he's not seasoned enough for them guys. But yeah. I don't see why what do they call it? Isaac Lowe can't be in with him. I mean, he's on slide, isn't he, Isaac Lowe? I think so, anyway. Not you.
Hey, Isaac Lowe's a national treasure.
Isaac Lowe, he's the funniest person in the world. You don't even know he's funny. Some of the things. He's unbelievable, isn't he? He could have you in stitches. I can see why Tyson's got him around. He's probably falling around all over the floor all day. Because Tyson would laugh, doesn't he?
Oh, mate, I just read his tweets. I have 5 minutes sometimes to just read his tweets.
Whenever I see an X on a building or a train or in an underground station, somebody's graffitied an X. Yeah. I always wondered if Isaac Lowe's just signed his name somewhere. Oh, poor Isaac Lowe. He's got a beard now, though. He's doing well. He's doing well. Dennis McCann, 13-0. Last fought in July. For a WBC International Silver. These Trinket belts have got to stop. Why can't they just be in British rankings or go for an English?
Do you know what, Russ? If you go back through history, and I had to go and do this myself, they've been fighting for these Trinket belts for absolutely ages.
Clinton told me he's got one.
Yeah, we just didn't notice it the same way.
Because there's that many of them now, though. In the back then, there were odd ones, weren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I remember Clinton's belt, because he was telling me about it, and I thought, yeah, he's got one. And I thought, well, that's why he's got that WBC tattoo on him, and he's got it on his plate, hasn't he, on his BM. And I thought, yeah, because he never won a WBC, did he? Won an IBF, but he got the WBC ranking, didn't he, to fight Jones by going for that belt. I suppose that's how Dennis got him in position, didn't he, really? So I can understand the method behind the madness, but I just think we ought to scrap the lot of them. All these trinkets and just have area, English, British, Commonwealth, European, and then the other belts. That's what the world title belts. No trinkets, mate. It's confusing, isn't it? I think it's confusing, mate. When the man in the street is saying to somebody, "Oh, come on, we can't miss this fight for world. It's a world title fight." I say, "Isn't it? It's a trinket belt." Yeah, but it's world title, World Boxing Federation International. So yeah, just because it says world, do you want me to invent one? The World Beano Comic Boxing Tournament. And I get 8 boxers in it. It doesn't mean say it's best in world's tournament, does it? Do you know what I mean?
We're in a mess.
The fans decide, don't they, who's the world champion, Terry? Don't they really?
Yeah. Mate, it's a joke at the moment. Regular champions, super champions, franchise champions, champions in recess, interim champions. It's a joke.
You know how many world champions there is now from the 5 belts, right? If you count all the trinket stuff, 262, but I've been told 271. So you're within 9. There's a bit of an argument about how many world champions there is. You know, not counting vacant belts, take them out, actual belt holders and trinket holders and blah, blah, blah. So there's over 250. Hey, where is it going? There should be focus a lot on them being active. I mean, Cash Ali's just been stripped at IBF European. Well, how can they strip him? I said to Dennis, it's a belt you invented. I went down like a lead balloon. But you see where I'm coming from. Yeah, but you can see where I'm coming from, can't you? So what you're on about has been stripped. You invented the belt. Has it been stripped? That's sweet, isn't it? Do you know, unless there's something going on behind the scenes I don't know about, but I just thought, has it been stripped? So I don't know, but I think these trinket belts need to stop. The boxing board of control, nobody trusts them. We don't like them, but we're stuck with them. So why don't we just work with them and let them get their fees in, and let's get these.
Although Russ, if you look historically, right, the belts that you're talking about, like the area level belts, historically were rarely fought for. You know, guys like Dennis Andrews would hold the British for 3 years and maybe defend it twice.
Well, Henry Cooper's got 4 British title belts, so he must have been defending his.
Yeah, but how many times over 2 years, right? Whereas if you look now, like the British title gets a lot more velocity. Like it gets fought for a lot more often now, which I think is a good thing. But like if you go back into the 80s, those guys like Dennis Andrews, is it Tony Booth and all those sorts of guys, the old school heads, British title came up once every year and a half, 2 years. And then it started to speed up in the 90s and into the 2000s.
I want to see people saying, I'm going to win this outright. I cherish the belt. Because to me, you can't just win a British title and not want to win it outright. You know what I mean? A lot of people use it as a stepping stone, but it's a traditional belt, isn't it? It's the oldest belt in boxing.
Although if you look historically at people who have fought for it, not many people have tried to win it outright. You used to, when there was only like 2 governing bodies, right? Then you're like, actually, it's going to be ages till I get a world title shot. Let me just keep defending my British. But you can jump into the rankings quick now. So why would you waste time?
So what you're saying is the British Boxing Board of Control, they deal with all these governing bodies from all over Europe, mainly Europe and obviously Mexico and stuff like that, but Puerto Rico. But they deal with all these governing body people. My son, that it ain't Europe, is it? They have what's them things Dennis used to go to? Where they have like
conventions.
They have them all over Europe, don't they? In Italy and Mexico and all that. But mainly the governing bodies are all like South Africa for WBF. I'm not sure what IBO is. I forgot that one. WBC's Mexico, isn't it? Is it Puerto Rico for WBA or WBO? New Jersey for IBF, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, all these governing areas that the board are dealing with, well, the British Boxing Board of Control, by dealing with them, putting their livelihoods at risk because they're taking fees off them people for them coming to England, but they're losing fees from the British title fight. So isn't that saving a penny but losing a pound in the long run? Surely.
No, 100%.
Because the British belts, the English, the British, obviously Commonwealth's a different organisation, that's Simon blocking it, but them domestic belts, they're not active because they're going for trinket belts. So why does the board want to deal with all these organisations from around the world? It's because of the fees, isn't it? Well, they can't see that they're harming their own selves, aren't they? Oh, it does. It drives me mad. It's like somebody wanted to save money, not paying for the DJ on a Friday night. So why do we need to pay that DJ 140 quid when we've got a jukebox? Well, they don't understand, but not everybody comes in to listen to a jukebox. They want to have karaoke, don't they? And a bit of a disco and things like that. So you save a penny, you lose a pound because people don't come in. You're saving that money on night, but people stop coming in, they go somewhere else, and then they might try to go to that pub another night and another night. And the 3 nights out of the week, they're not going to go to local with disco guy, are they? They're going to go to somewhere else because disco guy's cancelled. Saving a penny, losing a pound.
Let's go, Dave.
Let's go, Dave. I want about somebody else who I know that, but point I want to make is the board basically are useless, aren't they? You know that, I know that. Everybody's suing them. Jeff Hines, I've heard Ian John Lewis is suing. Ian John Lewis, I ain't got no time for you, mate. So stop crying about suing the board. But if you want to come on Porky's Corner and spill your guts, you're more than welcome. But if you were still an A-star referee, Ian John Lewis, you won't be considering coming on Porky's Corner. So grow a pair and come on here and stop sending messages for other people. Grow a pair and come on, Ian John Lewis. Do it. Grow a pair. Or crawl away and accept it on chin. You've still got a job. You're working in prison service, Ian. You've had a good run, but the run's over. Get gone. Am I harsh on Ian John Lewis there?
A little bit.
Would he care about us if he was still an A-star referee? He won't care about. No, he won't. It's because they've had the little perks took off them, haven't they?
No free gratis.
No more free gratis. But this is how I look at it. What about Michael Alexander's card? What about all these other ones that have done Calamity James movements, like Terence O'Connor? Did you see that fight when Carl Froch fought Michael Monaghan? When he went to stop it, when Froch was setting about him, he fell and nearly he tipped building up. He tipped building upside down. Stand up, Terry. You're tipping nightclub up or whatever venue up. These people, these board referees and judges, they've had it that good for that long. Soon as they set about them and make an example of one or two of them, they don't like it. Robert Smith, you need to clear a lot of them. But I think they had to do with that Taylor Castro one. It was that bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was just...
What about the Glenn Fieldman one? Did you see Teddy Atlas's breakdown on that? He didn't mess up, did he? Well, Glenn Fieldman, he neither got out of jail. He needed Joshua to do something at 12th, and he didn't, did he? So he gave Joshua that round, didn't he, to keep his card sweet. But if he'd gave that card to Usyk, there wouldn't have been any hoo-ha about the scores, would there? It was that 12th round that Fieldman gave to Joshua, wasn't it? Why they were looking at him, the media.
Yeah.
Because Joshua never landed one punch in the round, did he? He took a beat down. But they gave the 12th round to Joshua, which was what nobody could fathom out, because that gave the other guy the win. The other two judges didn't do that. Nobody in the world gave the 12th round to Joshua, did they? So I think they leave the sense wide open. But I ain't got no sympathy for Ian John Lewis whatsoever. No, because like I said, if he'd have just got a slap on wrist, everything would be hunky-dory, wouldn't it? It's only because they've had the tap stopped, isn't it? Well, when you get your tap stopped, like I say, I'm barred from nearly every pub round here and the surrounding areas. And I've been on Pub Watch, one of the first ones to get on it. But once your tap stopped and they say, not tonight, Pork, I'm like, what are you on about? I'm thirsty. When I used to go out, I'm in bits now. You've got to walk home while your mates are going, I'll see you, Pork. See you later. But no, Ian John Lewis is on the outside looking in now, isn't he? So, no, I ain't got no sympathy for him whatsoever, because He's the only man in the world that can stop a train at 125 mile an hour, even though the train's still on track and it's doing nothing wrong. Ian John Lewis will stop it, won't he, and send it back to base. There's something wrong with it. Because the man don't know what he's doing. Did you see him stop Enzo Maccarinelli in that fight for taking shots to his arms? Do you remember that fight?
Yeah.
Well, that's when I first decided to set about him on my channel. That fight. And he's in a few. All you've got to do is Google Porky's Corner, Ian John Lewis, corruption or incompetence. That's one of my good videos. But I called that out before Castrol fight. I've been on his ass 2 years, well, on his back, should I say, not his ass. I'll get trolled for that.
Yeah, you've been on everyone's case.
Well, they aren't like nobody off, Terry. I've been consistent. Whether they're 6'8" or 5'8", I've been consistent, haven't I?
See that, Porky?
You've been an helmet.
Yeah, and I took it on the chin. I was like, yeah, it's about time.
You were Devo, Terry, really. You were Devo.
No. I wanted it. I went looking for it.
You went looking, but I'm not surprised with all the stuff you come out on my channel, all rubbish.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, now Porky turns.
All right, let's change it up a bit, right? Let's change it up a bit. Let's throw a curveball. Billy Joe Saunders. He started his training camp. He stopped. He started. He stopped again. And it looks like he's gone back to how he was. He's put a bit of timber on again, I've heard. Is it over for Billy?
There'll always be someone willing to train him. So there'll always be someone willing to train him, and there'll always be someone willing to promote him. It's just about who and where.
Well, he's 16 months out at ring now. He hasn't got a fight date. He's walking around. He's heavy. He's heavy. He's heavier than me and you. Look,
combined.
I don't. Yeah. Well, he looked big to me. I mean, he had a white fleece coat on. He looked like a snowman. I'm not being funny. He looked like a snowman, mate, in this picture I've seen. And I'm not used to seeing Billy like that. I just think it's a waste of talent.
That lifestyle catches up with you eventually. You can't take the piss for too long.
It caught up with Gascoigne, didn't it?
Caught up with everyone.
Do you think it'll catch up with Tyson Fury at the end?
Yeah.
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 That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Okay, then. Terry, what do you think about drug scene at the moment at boxing? You know, the steroids and the testing and that.
I'm glad you said boxing. I was like, I don't know about the other stuff.
No, yeah, it's been that long since I mean, I've only got to go like that, me and I'm back on it. It's getting to a stage now where I'm looking into the camera, I'm like, I've got an itch. Oh, he's had a late one. Hang on a minute, I'm just going to bend down. See what I mean? It's a quick one. This is what I have to put in my daily comment section. Oh, what do you think, Terry, about the testing procedures? Everything seems to have gone quiet about drug testing at the moment. Is the drug testing going on? Is it not going on? Nobody's getting busted for a long time. Is there no testing?
Remember that picture I sent you, or did I send it to you, Russ, of the guy on Instagram who was calling himself the boxing doctor, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he works with Fury, he works with Conor Benn and all of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not, like, in his bio it says, yeah, talk to me about everything TRT related. And I was like, they're not even trying to pretend anymore. Do you know what I mean?
TRT, what's that mean?
Testosterone replacement therapy.
All right.
So when you get older, your testosterone levels start to drop.
Yeah, I know.
There you go, Porky. See, you might need some TRT and get some size on you.
Do you mean, Porky? Do you mean like when you're 18 and you pole vault out of bed in the morning, and then when you're 52, you're like, can you help me up, love?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I see what you mean. I was going to ask you about Anthony Joshua's therapeutic exemption certificates. Do you think that went on? Because I bet it did.
Yeah, 100%.
So how can
I
he
think,
get a pass to take them and nobody else can? Is it because
yeah, they can. No. Oh, anyone can get a TUE, by the way. It's not hard.
you just need a doctor to sign you off on it?
Yeah, why do you think? Why do you think 2/3 of that Liverpool squad are asthmatic? Because their doctor signed them off as being asthmatic, so they can take what they want.
Oh, right. Is that why you're having to go at Liverpool? Listen, we can't hit a barn door at the moment, mate. Yo. We need to get some proper nandrolone dealers down to Anfield, mate. At the moment, Mo Salah can't hit a door, and Van Dijk's off of the pace, isn't he? So,
Well, what happens, Russ? This is what people don't understand. Like when you dose up on stuff like ephedrine, well, ephedrine probably not the one you want to take, or those sort of stimulants like caffeine and stuff. When you do those for long enough,
yeah.
you just burn out your receptors, so they just don't respond. And maybe you're seeing that with some of these Liverpool players that they've just burnt out their receptors, and what they need is a year of not doing anything to resensitize the receptors. So you're gonna have a bumpy first half of the season, then you get them back on all that stuff again. Bang, power through to the second half of the season.
Well, do you think Liverpool will come good like in the second half of the season?
Well, if they start taking their medicine again, yeah.
If they start drinking the nuts and fruit and berries special shakes.
Yeah.
Speaking of special shakes, shake, rattle, and roll. That reminds me, I saw an interview the other day from Flex Ingle, and to be honest with you, I thought it was a good interview. He came across as all right, talking a lot of sense. Did you see the interview?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
He was just saying about how matchmaking's changed and they pull the fighters there no more, and some of these kids who are fighting shouldn't really be passed, and that kind
It's
of.
true. You saw that with Fraser Clark.
Yeah, he's had problems getting matched, hasn't he?
Well, has he?
Just a
There are
bit.
people who will fight him. No, there are people who will fight Fraser Clark today. So why aren't the fights getting made?
What did you think about Max calling out Jarrell Miller?
I like Max. Max will get smoked. Max will get smoked.
Max is a big, lovable lummox, but
Yeah.
got to take it serious, honey, if he's gonna.
Yeah, Miller throws too many punches, too big, too heavy. He'll steamroller him, man. It wouldn't go past 2 rounds. I don't say that to be disrespectful. It's just there are levels. Do you know what I mean? Especially in those 10-ounce gloves, there are levels.
I'm surprised Miller can get them big paws of his in a 10-ounce glove.
But that's the beauty of them, right? Like when you go get those bigger sort of custom gloves, there's just less room for padding, right? You got to keep it to 10 ounces.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with Anthony Yard?
He just wants to fight for a world title, so he'll stay busy until then. You won't see him in with any British names. They're not going to risk another mishap. He'll fight for a world title.
You don't hear any stories about Anthony Yard boozing it up and letting rip on a Saturday night and getting out his head deal and all that.
Don't think he does. O'Hara Davis doesn't. Those guys weren't really drinkers.
They're not boozers now.
Nah. That's why when have you ever seen Yard out of shape?
I saw that bird O'Hara used to go. She was complaining that he never took her out for a drink. All they used to do was watch films at his and go out for a takeaway and then back to his. She was done up to nines and O'Hara were there with remote controls saying, yeah, we're watching this, eat your dinner.
But that's what I want a boxer to do. No, isn't that what you want your boxer to do?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, but it depends if he's just had a fight in that hour. I don't think O'Hara were into all that even after he'd won his fight. So good luck to him.
Yeah, I like that discipline. Just stay home, man.
O'Hara, we don't hear much from him these days, do we, O'Hara Davis?
He's all right, man. He's waiting to see how the belts shake up. So I think he's going to go down one of the routes as well. He wants to fight for a world title.
Does he?
Yeah.
I hope he does. He comes across as all right. I've met him a couple of times. He seems
a nice kid. Really, really nice kid. People have this negative view of him based on what they see on IFL and stuff. And I'm not going to tell them they're wrong because you can only go on the information you have.
Yeah.
But O'Hara's this really quiet kid, right? He just loves to box. He loves fighting.
Yeah, he looks to me like he likes it. He's good at it, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's good at it. Okay then. What do you think is going to happen with this cruiserweight carry on with Okolie and Eddie Hearn? We'll finish off on that. What do you think? Because I know you like Lawrence Okolie, and I'm warming to him after seeing a few interviews. And he's not a big gob, is he? He don't shout his gob off, does he?
No.
His style's crap, Terry. I don't like his style. He's an octopus, mate. But do you think he's going to get his just deserves at cruiserweight, or do you think he's going to have to step up a weight to get his corn?
He'll do both. So I think you'll probably see him and Eddie separate pretty soon. I think Shane McGuigan would rather just have all of his guys on one network. It just makes his life easier in terms of planning. So I think he'll go over to Sky. Ellie Scott will go over to Sky. And at some point, Dubois will go over to Sky. And then that'll be it. They'll all run off there. I imagine at some point they'll be setting up Lawrence versus Richard Riakporhe. You know, probably not just yet, but why not get those guys going at it? I just think Lawrence is in that unfortunate position, like too awkward, too big, too strong for most cruiserweights. Remember, I got stick last time here for saying he's the sort of guy I would have fancied to beat Usyk, and I got into stick for saying that. But I just think he's so horrible for people. Like he's got this offbeat rhythm that's very hard to time as well. And then he'll just, like you said, he'll just kind of swallow you up like an octopus.
A bit like Fury.
Yeah.
Hard to fathom out because they've got really long arms. Are Lawrence Okolie's arms third longest in boxing after Relenius and Fury's, I've been told. I don't know if that's true.
He might run Fury close because he's a lot wider than Fury.
Yeah, well, I've heard that them and Wilder, they're the octopus men for long arms, aren't they?
Yeah, well, the octopus is like, don't they say it's the second most intelligent organism on Earth?
Octopuses, yeah, I've seen that program where they were going into boxes underwater and all sorts, glass tubs and stuff. Did you see it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, the source, can he clean up at £200? Yes or no?
Yes.
With Shane McGuigan in his corner now, he will. Because he's obviously Shane's one of the top trainers in it up there.
He's the best.
Go to Shane McGuigan. Doesn't sound as good as go to Adam, the Dark Lord. He's the best. We don't hear from Adam Booth nowadays, do we? What's happened to him? APB, Adam Booth, a missing person. Or is it whatever? AWOL, absent without leave. Adam Booth, you're missing in action. Where are you? Go to Adam Booth.
Oh, man, you kill me.
When I go in my local, do you know what people say if they've had too much to do? There's no worse than going in a local, is there, on a Sunday dinner at about 3:00? You know, people have been tanked up from R12.
Yeah.
Can hear it. Go to Adam Boo! That's all I get, mate.
I hope you don't interrupt them while they're doing it.
You know what I say, and I go, the Dark Lord, he's the best. It kills them off. Instead of me turning around, in mouth. Then they're just going to do it again, aren't they?
Exactly. You can't give people the energy they crave.
Go to Chris Medley. He's the second best after the Dark Lord. Old Adam Boo, bless him. He's actually quite funny, Adam Boo, but you're not his biggest fan, Terry, are you?
I just think he's a bit of a hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did well for David A.
Did he?
He took David A to world title in 2 weight divisions. Come on.
David would have done that with anyone.
Oh, God, Terry. Come on. You've got to give Adam Boo credit.
Okay.
Terry
so David's got... No, wait. Okay. Wait. No. So let's go with the credit. So David's got 2 popped Achilles tendons. He's got 6 bolts in his back. His shoulders disintegrated on one side. His hips are screwed. That's the credit you want me to give Adam Booth?
Well, he's one of them explosive fighters, isn't he, that's not going to have longevity in it, David A. Your words.
Right, but I didn't have him doing fucking box jumps with barbells on his back, which is actually just really bad science for a start. Do you see what I mean?
I didn't know
that. Yeah. Like, who was the other kid who got broken back? Was it Burnett?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So,
yeah. And then didn't Mick Conlon have a back injury or something as well? A lot of people are getting these, I'll call them Adam Booth injuries.
Oh, that's harsh, that, Terry. Do you realise you are slating the legendary Dark Lord? Dark Lord, man, you've seen what
The
you
best.
can do. He don't even need to look at you. He can strangle you, Darth Vader, without looking at you. We can't be having a go at the Dark Lord.
No, I know people who have been there
What about that?
and
Go.
they've trained with Adam, right? They've trained with Adam and they've just been like, I can't do that because he only has one way to train people. So it doesn't matter what size you are, everyone does the same stuff. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it don't. I suppose, but he has had world champions, hasn't he? And I just think he can't knock the man.
Really?
Well, he's had that. Didn't Ryan Burnett win one?
Against who? Lee Haskins? Oh, okay.
Or at Conlon? Has he won one with him?
Well, he tried with, what do you call it? With Lee Wood, and we saw what happened there.
Yeah, Lee Wood did win one at end, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but Lee Wood's not his fighter. McConlon is.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. Yeah, Lee Wood's a world champion, isn't he? But Conlon, I thought, were winning that fight till end. And if they do it again, I think Conlon wins.
Okay, but Jermaine Taylor was winning that fight till the Cobra caught up with him. It doesn't matter if you were winning; it's who actually won.
Yeah, I'm just saying if they changed it up a bit, they could win rematch, couldn't they?
Well, that's assuming that you see. There's a mistake that we make, and we assume that you can change things. Sometimes what you see is the best someone can do. I think that's probably the best Mick Conlon can ever be.
You think?
Yeah.
I thought he looked good on night until he got stopped.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes, look, we've talked about this on here before, Russ. Sometimes there's a man in the other end of the ring who just takes it out of you. His style, his strength, his speed, whatever it is.
Usyk. Joshua couldn't give any more overnight against him.
Yeah.
But
and you imagine
an answer for everything, didn't he? He had 7 card trick job on it up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Joshua only really had 2 cards to play, and they were all played before 8th round, weren't they? 8th and 9th. It was done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The other guy who just he'd not even gone through. I still think there's more to come from him and Fury. Do you?
My my belief on this. We don't know how good someone is until they lose.
Yeah.
That's why I always say Mayweather is probably the greatest of all time because we never saw him lose. So we don't actually know what it would have taken to defeat him.
Yeah. A bent judge.
Nearly happened in the Canelo fight.
It nearly happened in the not Castillo one, didn't it? No, they give it all unanimous for Mayweather, didn't they? But it was a lot closer than everybody had it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Tel.
You have a good weekend with the family.
Yeah, we'll have a good weekend. And there's some boxing on, isn't there? We've got my kids.
Got to keep supporting boxing.
Keep supporting boxing. That's about it, really. I think Dennis is back this weekend for a week. God.
Go on, Dennis.
He's pulled his show, hasn't he? He pulled it the day before weighing that show at Sheffield the other night.
Fair enough.
That'll have gone down like a lead balloon, but
I don't know why he still bothers. If I was in Den's position, you and I have talked about this. I just manage guys now. I won't even bother putting shows on.
Yeah, well, I've been told heads are going to roll. We'll see.
I've been told there may be a big comeback.
Well, from Dennis or me?
Just rumors I hear in the streets. I hear a man in pink has been seen leaving the building.
Dennis can't afford me, mate. Now what I earn, there'll be no more freebies if I'm doing it with Dennis. I can assure you. No, I wish him well. He came to see me when I was practically half dead. So I've got to give him credit. Chris Medley came to see me. Other people did as well. So
living legends. They're Yorkshire legends.
Chris Medley is a legendary figure in Sheffield.
Venerable figure. That's how you got to say it. Venerable figure.
Venerable figure. All right, then. Well, listen. Have a great weekend, Terry.
You too, mate.
And if you see that Dosser Rico, tell him I've got him a skipping rope for Christmas.
Oh, my God. I will do.
All right. Take care, mate.
Take care, pal.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Terry. Have a look.